land of opportunities and dreams, has been facing a downfall over the years. This downfall can be attributed to a number of factors, such as the political turmoil, economic struggles, social unrest, and environmental degradation. The country that was once the symbol of hope and stability has now become a shadow of its former self. Political turmoil is one of the main reasons behind America's downfall. The country has been facing increasing polarization and division among its citizens. The lack of cooperation and compromise among political leaders has resulted in a gridlocked government, unable to address the pressing issues of the country. The recent events, such as the Capitol riot, have further weakened the already fragile political system of America. Another reason for America's downfall is its economic struggles. The country has been facing a widening wealth gap, with the top 1% of the population controlling the majority of the wealth. The increasing poverty rates, along with the sky-high cost of living, have left many Americans struggling to make ends meet. The recent COVID-19 pandemic has only added to the economic struggles of the country, with millions of people losing their jobs and facing financial difficulties. Social unrest is another factor contributing to America's downfall. The country has been facing increasing tensions between different racial and ethnic groups. The recent Black Lives Matter protests, along with the rise of hate crimes, have further escalated the social unrest in the country. This social unrest has resulted in a breakdown of trust and cooperation among different communities, leading to further division and instability. Environmental degradation is another significant factor contributing to America's downfall. The country has been facing increasing environmental challenges, such as air and water pollution, deforestation, and climate change. The lack of effective environmental policies and the reluctance of the government to address these issues have resulted in a rapid deterioration of the environment. This has not only affected the health of the people but has also impacted the country's economy, as it is becoming increasingly difficult to sustain the country's resources. In conclusion, America's downfall is a result of the combination of political turmoil, economic struggles, social unrest, and environmental degradation. These factors have weakened the country's stability and have impacted the lives of its citizens. It is crucial for the country to address these issues and work towards finding a solution to restore its former glory. Only by working together can America overcome its current challenges and become a beacon of hope once again. America is currently facing a range of complex and interrelated issues that have contributed to a sense of chaos in the country. Some of the main factors contributing to this chaos include political polarization. In recent years, political polarization has become a major issue in America, with both political parties becoming more entrenched in their beliefs and less willing to compromise. This has led to a toxic and divided political atmosphere, with many Americans feeling that the two-party system is no longer representative of their interests. Racial tensions. America has a long and complex history of racial inequality, and despite some progress in recent years, racial tensions remain high in many parts of the country. Issues such as police brutality, institutionalized racism, and a lack of economic opportunity for minority communities continue to fuel these tensions, with many Americans feeling frustrated and angry about the persistence of these problems. Income inequality. America has one of the highest levels of income inequality in the world, with a small percentage of the population holding a large proportion of the wealth and power. This has led to widespread feelings of frustration and anger among many Americans, who feel that the economic system is rigged against them. Political corruption. Corruption has become a major issue in American politics, with many citizens feeling that their elected officials are more interested in serving their own interests than the interests of the country as a whole. This has led to widespread cynicism and mistrust of the political process, with many Americans feeling that the system is corrupt and in need of significant reform. Health crisis. The ongoing COVID-19 pandemic has exacerbated many of the issues that America was already facing, with the health crisis leading to widespread economic hardship, job losses, and uncertainty about the future. The pandemic has also highlighted the systemic issues in America's healthcare system, with many citizens feeling that they are not receiving adequate care and support. Climate change. Climate change is another major issue that is contributing to a sense of chaos in America, with many citizens feeling that their elected officials are not doing enough to address this crisis. Climate change is already having significant impacts on communities across the country, with extreme weather events, rising sea levels, and widespread environmental degradation contributing to widespread anxiety and concern about the future. These issues are interconnected and interrelated, and they are contributing to a sense of chaos and uncertainty in America. In order to address these challenges, it is necessary for the country to come together and work towards finding solutions that are in the best interests of all citizens. This will require political leaders to work across party lines and put aside their differences in order to address these complex and pressing issues. In conclusion, America is facing a range of complex and interrelated issues that are contributing to a sense of chaos and uncertainty in the country. These issues include political polarization, racial tensions, income inequality, political corruption, a health crisis, and the threat of climate change. To address these challenges, it is necessary for the country to come together and work towards finding solutions that are in the best interests of all citizens. The conflict in America refers to the various social, political, and economic tensions that have arisen in the United States over the past few decades. These conflicts are rooted in a number of factors, including economic inequality, race relations, immigration, and political polarization. One of the most significant conflicts in America is the issue of economic inequality. Despite being one of the wealthiest nations in the world, the United States has seen a growing divide between the rich and the poor. This has led to a number of social and economic issues, including poverty, homelessness, and a lack of access to education and healthcare. Another major conflict in America is the issue of race relations. The country has a long history of racial inequality and discrimination, and this has led to ongoing tensions between different racial and ethnic groups. In recent years, there have been numerous instances of police brutality against people of color, as well as protests against systemic racism and discrimination. The issue of immigration is another source of conflict in America. There are many people who are concerned about the impact that immigration is having on the country, both economically and culturally. This has led to debates over border security, the status of undocumented immigrants, and the role that immigration should play in the future of the United States. Finally, political polarization is a major source of conflict in America. The country has become increasingly divided along political lines, with each side becoming more entrenched in its beliefs and less willing to compromise. This has led to a breakdown in the political process, making it difficult to address many of the country's pressing problems. In conclusion, the conflict in America is a complex issue that stems from a variety of factors, including economic inequality, race relations, immigration, and political polarization. To address these conflicts and move the country forward, it is important for leaders and citizens to engage in open and honest dialogue, and to work together to find solutions that are in the best interest of all Americans.